Spider-Man Far From Home has yet to hit theaters, but we already know that Sony and Marvel are planning a third adventure focusing on Tom Holland's Peter Parker. Right now we know basically nothing about this Spider-Man 3 that has been proposed, but we do know that it's likely going to land in theaters in 2021. Earlier this week there were a lot of rumblings and rumors that possibly Deadpool would be featured in Spider-Man 3, but I'll talk about that stuff in a separate video. This time we're going to be talking about the possibility of Tom Hardy's Venom showing up for the third Spider-Man film. According to prominent Marvel leaker Roger Wardell, there's no plans to add Deadpool into the MCU's Spider-Man 3, but that Sony desperately wants to add Venom into the movie. Funny enough, this wouldn't be the first time that Sony pressed its hand at getting Venom into a third Spider-Man film, as we all infamously know what happened with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3. Basically with that film, Venom was never really part of the plans, but Avi Arad and the studio more or less forced into adding the character due to fan pressure and Avi Arad's general want and desire to include the Venom character. Venom did some pretty amazing numbers when it opened up in theaters last October, grossing over $800 million at the worldwide box office. So it is kind of no surprise that Sony would want to put this very profitable and popular character into a Spider-Man film given their long-standing history in the comic books. But what are your guys' thoughts on this? Would you realistically want to see Tom Hardy's Venom show up in the MCU, making his introduction in the Far From Home sequel? Be sure to post your thoughts down in the comments below. This is definitely something interesting to think about, and we do know that Sony has kind of wanted to use the Venom character in pretty much all of these Spider-Man films thus far. There was tons of rumors regarding Venom showing up in Spider-Man 2 or the first film Homecoming, or vice versa, Tom Holland's Peter Parker showing up in the Venom movie that came out last year. I think at this point it's just a matter of time before the two cross paths, since like I said, Sony owns both the characters and they're gonna probably try and do it at some point. But for more updates on Spider-Man Far From Home, Venom, and everything pop culture, be sure to subscribe to HN Entertainment.